Namaskar.
My name is Ram Shettigar.
Tell us how you became involved with Ananda Marga.
I'm interested in spirituality most of my life. And earlier, before I got initiated in 1969, I was with Ramakrishna or Vivekananda group for 6 years. I was regularly attending talks on Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita and all that. And also I have a contact with the Hare Krishna people for a little while. So, and I met first Dada Vimalanandji, Avadut, in St. Louis, Missouri. And he was put up at the university hostel, and I got initiated with him in the first and second lessons. So that was in 1969, and then 1971, well, we were meeting at Dr. or Professor Gishta's house for our Dharma Chakra every week in St. Louis. He was at the university, so he had a big apartment. And Ravi Patra was a student, PhD student in Illinois at that time. And he used to visit us also. And in 69, there was not much going on in terms of seva, or there was no kiirtan was introduced much later. So we were mostly doing asana, yoga, and meditation, and discussion on philosophy and about Baba stories. And so one day in 1971, I was fellow in cardiology at Jewish Hospital, St. Louis, and my final year. And Professor Krista had a dream that I was going to India and meeting Baba. So I was very excited at that time. And I guess Baba was okay with that because everything went fast. I got immediate time off for a week or 10 days, and got my ticket, and within a couple of days I was in Delhi. But I was very excited and exuberant until I reached Delhi. In Delhi, I found out Indian Airlines, all the airlines were on strike. So I could not make any progress. I had to go to Calcutta and then Ranchi from there. I get to see Baba morning and there are people lined up on both sides of the walkway. And most of them were from abroad, America and Europe, maybe Australia, and so on. And I made namaskar to Baba, and he returned it, and he was very happy, smiling. And then I found out that he had banned PC months ago. So a lot of people were waiting for personal contact with Baba. And I was disappointed also because that was the reason I wanted to have at least a few minutes with Baba. And Ramji was global headquarters. I could not believe it, the condition of this, physical and there was a little canteen and a small garage and the headquarters global was there, and Baba checked all the office papers every day when he comes. And so that was the second stress faced, and had very short time. And in the last day, Baba lifted the ban, and my name was the first name in the list.
So when you first went there, you found out that he placed a ban on personal contact, but then right at the end he lifted the ban, so you're able to get contact. Is that right?
Yes. Yes. So they made a list of people based on priorities, I guess, and my name was on the top of the list. So I was ushered in by Dada there, and I did Sashtang Namaskar to Baba. He was sitting in mudra position. He was lying back on the cot on a raised platform. And it's part of the great school, Ananda Marga. And so the routine, he asked my name, and then he blessed me. He touched my Ajna chakra, Sahasrara chakra, and all that. And after that, I was about to leave. Then he called me back, and then he said, you have something in your mind you are worried about. You are staying in America as a doctor. You could, do better things in India. And but he said, no, you go back to US and stay there permanently. And until then, I was not thinking of my visa status because I was all excited about seeing Baba. So Baba says, you go back to America. Then I realized my visa was expiring in a few days. And so I had to see the consulate general or office in Delhi. On my way back, I went to Delhi, and I saw him right away. And he was surprised. He was doubting my intentions. I was up to something. He was not going to give me even visa to get back to US because my visa, how can somebody waste money going to US and come back to India right away? So something happened. Suddenly his mind changed. I think it was Baba's grace. Then he asked me, do you have girlfriends in the US? I said no. And then he wanted to take an oath from me. So I raised your right hand and I took the oath that I would come back to India before the visa expires. And consulate officers had no clue of what was happening in the US Congress, politics. So when I went back, I went to in South India and visited my parents, and they had not seen me in 5 years. And then went back to St. Louis, and within a couple of days I saw newspaper headlines saying Congress has decided to issue permanent visa green card for all the foreign doctors who came to US on exchange visitors visa. So I was qualifying for permanent visa, and President Nixon signed that and made it into a law. So I got my green card right away and citizenship after a few days, I would say months. So it is amazing. Baba, of course, knows past, present, and future, which even the general consulate didn't know. And all of a sudden, maybe they kept it secret. I don't know what was going on in the US. So that's how well, in Ranchi, there was kiirtan in front of Baba. That was the first time I saw kiirtan. There was no discipline. I mean, people were thrashing around Baba Naam Kevalam, and sisters were not participating. They were sitting in the back row. And so Baba was smiling, sitting on the podium there, the stage, and nobody introduced me to Kirtan either. Then Baba went to prison, I think late in 71. And I met Baba in 1979 in Fieldwalk, Switzerland. There was a DMC schedule. Baba was out of prison in 78 and fully, all the charges were dropped by the Supreme Court of India. So there was all the 200 charges dropped. And he was then mostly in Patna, but he planned a trip to Europe. And Fieldwalk is a beautiful place in the Alps, snow-covered. And so we, several people, I think 7 of us went to Fieldwalk from US, including one Dada, and myself, Kirit Dave, and a few others. We had darshan every day of Baba, once or twice a day. And Baba was going on fieldwalk every day with the select people. And it's interesting, one brother, Margiis, was not very happy probably. And Baba noticed that and asked him, what's wrong? And he said, oh, when I was leaving to go on the fieldwalk, my wife was crying and crying because sisters were not allowed in the fieldwalk. Then immediately Baba said, oh, then they should come. They should be coming in the fieldwalk too. They can be bodyguards also, and they can be close to Baba. So that was carried out, the change. And sisters were also allowed in the field walk. Only thing is they have to ask for it. Things don't happen spontaneously. And the other thing was field walk. There was a lot of snow, and Baba was walking with sandals, I think. And his feet were red. Then they had to, Baba said, it's okay, I'm okay. But Margiis were concerned, he should wear socks and boots or something. So they took care of it. And they had a newsletter every day. Baba's Day in the PH. One of the other interesting thing Baba said was on field walk was Lord Shiva with his entourage visited Alps. They were riding these Tibetan buffaloes. They have
yaks.
Yeah. They have wool-like cover. They can tolerate high altitude. And they had many ganas or disciples of Shiva accompanying Lord Shiva. And Baba said some areas of Alps still has that vibration of Lord Shiva 7,000 years ago. He came to Alps.
Wow.
And that's interesting because there is also some evidence Shiva visited some areas of Middle East also. Anyway.
He didn't say where in the mountains that vibration is?
It's in the Alps. I've never been to all the places there. I was short. I don't if I
didn't say specifically.
Yeah. Another thing Baba said was about Mars, the planet Mars. He said the seed of life on planet Earth came from Mars. He didn't explain in detail, but apparently it seemed like there was no humans or humanoids in Mars, but there was life, like small at the lower level, plant life, viruses, bugs,
bacteria.
Yeah, bacteria. During darshan, Baba talked. For the first time, I heard that he was Taraka Brahma. I don't think it was in the books, maybe, but Baba never said it that directly. I was surprised, and it was very clear. And
sorry, what did he say?
He said, if I paraphrase it, he said, Taraka Brahma is the one you are doing meditation or Guru Puja or something like that. And that was, I thought, interesting coming from him. And one other comment he made was when Baba was entering the big hall for DMC or the he stopped at the door one time. I was there, I heard him He said, you people, I see you people, same people every time I come. I think you should let go, others also should see, I want to see, they should come to the front. So I agree with Baba 100% because, I always stayed back, I was told, and some sisters may not even see Baba when it comes, close. So afterwards that changed, and some people want to be in the front row and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, and I did not go to any of fieldwalk because, this PA probably, friendly with me, put me in the group. But I thought others should take local, Margiis should give the preference because they have not seen Baba. So, and the other thing from there, the Dada Karunananda was the SS of Europe. He's late, means he passed away a few years ago. And he was very cordial and nice to us. And he invited us even to come to Germany. Baba next stop was in Mainz, M-A-I-N-Z, near Frankfurt, where Baba was going to give PC and continue darshans. So we followed, we had a van and we all drove, got into Mainz and stayed there for 2 or 3 days. We had close contact there also with Baba. And I had my second PC with Baba, Pierre Ramananji, I think, pushed me into Baba's room. There were not too many people in line, whereas it's Fiesh, there were long lines. And Baba was in a very good mood. He pretended like he had not seen me. What's your name? And he asked all those questions. Because I know he knew, because my brother is a Margiis too, saw Baba in India 2 years later. And Baba told him, I saw your brother in Germany. And he got his PC first because he's elder. You are younger, so you got his initiation second. So Baba knows everything, but he still acts on it. But he spent some time talking to me about other than PC. So he really, it was not exactly PC, where Baba does chakra, touching all those things, blessing. PC is primarily, one type. And so he asked me, what is Udupi famous for? Udupi is my home, birthplace. It's a small town or a big village, you could say. And I right away said there was a acharya called like Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, and this other acharya. He was a genius, age 6, he knew Sanskrit and was correcting his teachers, and he criticized or critiqued Upanishads and Vedas and some parts of it. And his name was Madhvacharya. So he was emphasizing Advaita philosophy means more bhakti oriented. Unlike Shankaracharya, it's non-dualistic philosophy. Everything is illusion, something that Baba did like that. So anyway, when I said Madhvacharya, and he has 12th century temple, Krishna temple in Udupi, and Shiva temples also, 5-6 temples. Baba shook his head that he was not expecting something else. Then I thought maybe I said famous for cooking. Then he laughed and smiled, yes. I don't know. Udupi has some of the best vegetarian cooks. All over the world they have Udupi restaurants. There is one near Lake Gardens. I took my friends from America over there, and they had a good time eating dosa, idli, all the various South Indian dishes for few pennies. It was so cheap. So they were taking everything, repeat. Anyway, it's in America also every city has Udupi restaurant, even Washington DC and so on. So maybe that's what Baba meant. But I was also cooking. I was a cook, helped my mother cook and so on. And sometimes I have cooked for 25, 50 Margiis. And those times, Margiis didn't know much about vegetarian cooking. They put a lot of turmeric and spices and made it bitter. Things changed very quickly though. So it was okay. Then Baba talked about my mother tongue. All of a sudden, I did not expect that. He said, Tulu is my mother tongue. It's one of the 2,000 languages in India. Means dialects, they call it now. But it had script before. And on Google they were saying Tulu existed as long as 2,000 years ago. In 1982, I think, I was told to attend Dharma Samiksa in Kolkata. And I didn't know exactly what it was, but I went there. And it was held in the previous Jagrati, which was partly rented by Ananda Marga, and before we got Lake Gardens. So, and when I went there, I was having severe headache and something going on. And I was a guest in Pranavananji, global secretary, office secretary. His room, he told me to lie down, and he had a young boy come and rub my forehead, and I fell asleep. I was supposed to see Baba go on a fieldwalk next day. I even forgot about it. But when I woke up next day, all the people have gone. All the Dadas, Didis are all gone to Lake Gardens. Lake Garden was there, so they moved from the old Jagrati to the new place, where Baba was there. And I could have gone on the back of the motorbike by Ravananji, but he was in a hurry to leave. And I typed some material for him also that day. And it took some time. This typewriter was mechanical. There was no electric typewriter in Myanmar. And then I had to walk to Baba's place. And I was late. And Baba's car was out in the front of Lake Garden behind the gate. And the back door was opened, and I heard Baba's loud voice. He said, "You are a little bit late." And then the Dada said, "Quickly, we'll get inside." And so I was in the back seat with Baba, and in the middle was Professor Raghunathji. He's family acharya, and he was also leader of Amra Bengali movement. And so they contested the election one time and they lost out in the election. But he was in charge of Amra Bengali movement, which is a samaj movement. The whole of India was divided by Baba about 45 samaj, socio-economic kind of units, cultural units, instead of just based on language only. So I was in the back seat, and Baba talked mostly about Amra Bengali Samaj with Professor Raghunathji. And we got off in Calcutta. We drove about 30 minutes, and then there was a big river, and then Baba was walking. Professor was holding an umbrella over him and trying to keep pace with Baba. Baba is short, but he is very quick and fast. And getting short of breath, running behind him. And then he stopped and he explained about the British time, how that river was, and the whole history about that. And when there were homeless people lying in the down, families, a little bit far, but they were all thinking there is a VIP person, he would help them. So they were shouting, "Baba, help me," or something like that. And this was the old Baba's car. It was it needed repair every week or so, but it worked fine that day. And it was not also suitable for Baba to lie down and relax if he's going for long trips, hours and hours. So you have to take. Well, India, they banned this Tandava dance, saying it is primitive and all those things, old hang-up. So Baba was angry, and he said he would not fly in the planes, only take train or bus. So long this law, banning Tandava is. One Avaduta was there, openly he was doing Tandava dance. And it was banned by government, Indira Gandhi, and it is a miracle that it happened. It happened to me in New York also. I was returning from India trip to New York airport, and I was exhausted that time. Then some reason the customs officer told me to go to the red line. Red line is for people who cheat or criminals, drugs and so on.
They're suspicious they've got some contraband.
It's long line it was, and it was not moving. And I have a next flight immediately, to go to Florida from New York, and so I was in a fix. And I just closed I was pushing my cart with one suitcase, and I was in the middle, and the line was not moving. So when I remember, Baba, immediately I thought I should go roundabout, go back. So I turned around with my cart and walked. And nobody noticed me. There were spies and police and dogs, crowds all over. And you have to go through a double door and submit your paper to the guard there before you leave the hall. And I walked, and everybody was doing their things and not noticing me. And I walked through the double door out and I dropped my suitcase. There was, they were taking the suitcases from travelers. And so I ran to my gate. So anyway, you see, Baba can do things instantly. I was alone. I came alone from India because my wife was pregnant and we had a baby, first baby also. So she was in no mood to go on a trip. So I was alone. And the place was so crowded. I was in line to see Baba. Baba was giving Dharma Samiksa in a small room. And each time they take about 10 people inside. And one by one you go in front of Baba. And Baba will look you for a second and then say what's wrong with your everything. And sometimes give punishment. And for boys, they get a good beating on the side of the torso. And sisters get some tap on the extended hand. So, and this physical pain actually removes a lot of your samskara, result of karma, bad karma, of many lifetimes, maybe. Not everything, but most of that. And when I was about to go inside, then one Dada came and picked me up, said, there is a sister from California, she's having pain. She's pregnant, 9 months. I don't know how they let her off the plane. And she's having labor pain. You should go with me right away. So I went with Dada and he took me to the hotel there. And I examined her. I knew her from California. She was a good singer and classical and all that. I examined her and she was not having labor pain. It was gastrointestinal pain. Everything is compressed within the 9 months. And I said she was okay, and so they did not rush her to hospital. So I came back, and then I was my turn to go in front of Baba. And Baba asked me, why you did not bring your family? And I could not answer him. So he took the stick and started beating me. I may have received about 16 beats. And there are dadas on both sides of Baba. They were saying, Dr. Ram, say something. Because Baba continues speaking until you say something. That's what I suppose. I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to give an excuse, My wife didn't want to come or whatever, situation in America. And it is not good, it is painful. But the more pain, the more seeds of karma are burnt. So, actually, there was one friend of mine, he said he was jealous of me because I got more beating than him. I won't say his name, he's a doctor. So, afterwards, it flashed me, I have to say something. I told Baba, okay, next time when I come, I will bring my family. Then he immediately stopped. And then he called me closer, I kneeled over and he squeezed my cheeks and he smiled. Then he told me, you have some samskara of genetic kidney, bladder, kidney problems. And that I realized a few years later. Maybe it will be in here. My wife, Pratibha, was having some problems also, stress related. And she was sometimes goes silent for days, depression. And adjusting to American culture was also difficult. And even Dada in Los Altos, Jagrati told me, you should take her to movies and dining in a hotel, restaurants. Because I was taking her twice a week to Jagrati, But then I reduced to once a day. And I also was flying. I had a license, pilot license. I was flying and she was crying. So I stopped flying because she was scared of going on a flight. So Baba knew what was going on. That's why, because none of the people who came for Dharma Samiksa brought their family. Baba never bothered. And only me, he was knowing what was going on. So I went back to, after Dharma Samiksa, I went back to California. I was flying I think Pan Am, and first went to Tokyo, and Tokyo, they said you don't have seat because you didn't reserve. We are supposed to call the airlines and say, I'm reconfirming my flight. That I could not do because, it's very hard to find a telephone. Nobody had cell phones those days. And so it was all Baba's Leela, what happened. then they said absolutely there is no seat. Then I said, I want to talk to the manager. So the manager came and I told him, and patients waiting, patients. And he looked, searched for seat and found there was one seat in first class and put me in that seat. And I was not charged for the same money, third class ticket, And I reached San Jose, I think, from LA. And in San Jose, I met Pratima, my wife, and casually I put my hand on her shoulder, and she became a little stunned. Anyway, she didn't say anything. When we reached home, she said, when you touched me, I had an electric surge body, whole body. It is Baba is transmitting energy or blessings through me across the seas to the other side of the globe, to her. And that is like a shock therapy. It changed her completely. No, not completely, 90% she was better after that. And then I had to keep the promise of I made to Baba. Next 2 years later, I went back with my whole family, 2 children and Pratima. And that time it was a DMC in Kanpur. Kanpur is about 1 hour flight from Delhi, south of Delhi. And it's a very crowded city. And so we got that Baba was staying in a Margiis home, big home. And there was a long driveway in front of the house, and people were crowded on both sides, Margiis. And from the airport, we came straight to that house. And Pratima was standing next to me, and I was carrying the older child, and she was carrying the younger girl. And Baba's car was moving out, going for a field walk. And the car stopped right where she was. And Baba, in the window, talked to her. She said, did you just, in Hindi, did you just come? And she said, yes, Baba. Then the car moved on. So Baba was acknowledging that he knows she cared. I met my promise, whatever. And that next day was the DMC, and during Varabhaya Mudra, Baba, she went through the same experience she had in US, the surge of energy going through the whole body. And this did not happen after that. She had a couple of other DMCs she attended. She did not have any of those, only on that one. So here is Baba, not only took care of my karma or whatever, which I don't know, and he does not reveal if the person is sensitive or, thin skin. If the person is very thick skin, and he sometimes tells everything, oh, I'm beating you for this, for this. But it depends on the context. Anyway, another thing was, when I was there in Kanpur, Baba was going on a car with the two other cars to a place 30 miles away from Kanpur. When the other told me to get into one of those cars, and I could, enjoy what Baba was going to do there. But we came from America without any rest, and the kids and her, and I look at their face, they're exhausted completely. And they didn't know any people there, also friends. And so I thought, it's not fair for me to leave them. So I declined. But anyway, what happened was, Baba told that if you dig down here, there is a big city, but you have to go some 30, and also some mile deep down. So it is I don't know the details, which civilization it was, whether it was Gupta period or what, but he said there is a big city there. In 1984, I had an opportunity to go on a garden tour, Baba, collecting rare plants from all over the globe, and lake garden upstairs, and also terrace and all these plants. And this was actually I was there the day before the tour, and Ramban and Dada Babaji is in charge of the garden tour, and they have a limit of 8 or 10 people in the group at one time, one day, every day. And so Baba asked, where is Ram? I was not in the group. And Ramananji told me this, PA, that I could not put him in the group today because it was already full. So then Baba said, okay. Dada said he will come tomorrow in the group. So next day I was in the group, and I was a little bit staying on the backside, but everything Baba was explaining, all the new plants and their botanical names and various things, details. Then there was one plant in a pot. It was called Kadamba tree or Kadamba plant. It is grown on the side of Yamuna River, which joins the Ganga River. But anyway, Baba, we were a line of people. He turned around and was looking at me and saying about this Kadamba plant. And he said it came originally, Kadamba plants originally came from China 5,000 years ago. And it was growing in Vrindavan, where Krishna grew up mostly in his younger days. And there were forests of Kadamba trees in that around Yamuna River. And so it's an interesting history. I have seen Kadamba tree in books, I think, mostly. It's in North India. Interesting, one Dada was asking Baba one time, that he was in visiting the Krishna temple in anyway, it is in the Vrindavan, Krishna temple. And he said there was no subtle vibrations he expected. Then Baba said right away, because the Yamuna river has shifted and it is that original Vrindavan is under the river. So because of the shifting of the river, that's why Dada did not feel that subtle sentient vibration. And the late Dada Shimananji was in charge of the Baba's garden. He is, I think, expert in botany. He must have done botany in the college. And I met him in the lake gardens. He told me I was looking very tired and I should lie down in his deer skin mat. I did lie down there for a little bit. And that was interesting. He was a very good, nice Dada. Everybody praised him. But he was sadly murdered by communists. And Baba had told him before not to go there, those villages. But he went away anyhow. Next subject is mid-80s. I also visited one time Baba in the lake garden. And there Baba was, I addressed Baba as Babaji, which was a not very conscious, slip of mouth or something. And Baba's mood changed a little bit. It's one side of the face, he was smiling, and the other side of the face, he was frowning. I don't know. That's the impression I got. And then I realized my mistake. He didn't want to be called Babaji, but just Baba. Baba said that also in groups that he is your Baba. Now you have to consider him just like he is the household, Laukik, local Baba, the family head, not have a awe or fear or, something like that. So that was his stress, I think. Historically there is a Babaji and Yogananda's biography has his pictures. He was supposed to have lived 400 years. And then somebody had asked Baba about that Babaji once. And Baba said it is true he lived some hundreds of years, but he is no more. He passed away. But I heard stories about him. Anyway, in yoga. Yeah, yoga.
Did Baba talk to you about him?
No, Baba did not talk about him, Babaji. But, he talked about others, people like Totapuri, who Krishna Paramahamsas, who initiation into higher nirvikalpa state. And, he was also called Nanga, naked yogi. And microvita sadhana, I talked about it before. Should I say anything more?
Just briefly, you can mention when you got it and what Baba said you could say about it.
Yeah, I saw, I was called, I was in Lake Gardens, I don't remember for what, and there were a lot of people then, but I had to leave the next day I left. And they were waiting for sadhana, I think, microvita sadhana, in hindsight. And when I reached US, Baba asked PA to call me and that I should come right away. I don't know what he said, microwave. Dada did not say, explain it. And I had some difficulty going back again. I had to convince Pratima because she was fully pregnant, close to 9 months, and was worried about labor pains anytime. But I said Baba would take care of everything, don't worry. And so when I arrived in Kolkata, next morning I was first in the list. And I was, when I went inside, Baba did some processes and everything. I don't want to talk about it, but I don't remember. Most of the time I was unconscious, and at the end I probably had a hard time coming back to normalcy or something, because Baba was rushing. I have so many waiting to see this and that, to rush in Haryana. Before that, he was very, very like a school, very slow and explaining, like a student. But then he said, if anybody asks you what happened with Baba, you can say Baba put you in Ananda, gave you Ananda, which is like saying was dead, because I was totally unconscious, probably more than an hour and a half. What year was this? This was December 87. And I was, when I went back to the hotel, I was in a different mood, devotional mood. I was crying for Baba, saying Baba, Baba, Baba all the time. And Baba told this to PA, I think Keshavananji, that Ram is calling Baba, Baba all the time. And that's the way it happens with the Vikalpa state. You have no, because your mind is absorbed in the supreme consciousness. So you are dead physically, mentally, you are not there. And so you don't experience bliss or anything. Afterwards, one is supposed to have devotional, expressions or change in the mental, various things, subtle things can happen. But but it is not a fine, that you have to work on it to attain moksha. Yeah. Baba gave, I'll talk about the koan. After the microvita talk, it was RU talk. We were in a one-star hotel, Pratima and children. They were not happy and afraid also. And I wanted to go to Jala to attend RU talk by Baba. But the taxi guy said it is too dangerous. It's night to go there, and even if you go there, you cannot come back. Things like that. So I decided not to go. Also, Baba did not announce that he was giving a talk. He was upset about something, and rumor was he may not give a talk, RU talk. But he gave the RU talk almost middle of the night, and it was about microvita. And next day I was there in Tiljala, and the SS Dada from American sector, North American sector, came with another Dada with the garlands, and they gave one garland to me, to garland Baba, and another garland for the SS of Delhi center. He was there, and we two were supposed to garland Baba outside the hall. Baba walks from the Tiljala, his quarters, to the hall. The next day he gives, after the RU talk, he gives a talk the next day. That's what he was, we are not supposed to touch him, they told. So we both did sashtang pranam to Baba on the outside. It was pebble floor. And then garlanded Baba. After that, Baba said something to me, which is what I call koan. I don't know if you know, K-O-A-N. It's a Japanese, Zen masters use that as part of spiritual development. It is a riddle that you cannot answer, and it sounds illogical and something like that. What Baba said was to me, did you attend DMC and RU talk? Now, I attended DMC talk, but I did not attend RU talk. So how do I answer? Then, the others there say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes. I did not say yes. I did not say anything because if I say yes, I'll be lying. So this is a call, the Buddhist masters use. But Baba was smiling. As soon as he said and he saw the expression in my face, he turned around and walked away towards the hall into the place. And Baba knows, but the Dadas there watching, they didn't know. That's why they said, say yes, say yes. So that's interesting. So Baba was indicating to me, I know everything. I know you did not come. to how you talk. But I understand your family situation and all those things. He was trying to, console me also by saying that way.
Do you know why you were told not to touch Baba?
I don't know why, because sometimes you are not supposed to touch him because various reasons. I don't think it's not because he's going into the hall and give a talk and he is not supposed to be touched. But it is like churning of the mind, churning of the mind, because the Buddhist disciples meditate on that and they get nowhere. And eventually they develop some sort of improvement in the nervous system and the mind, I think. Conflict never resolved, but there is growth, I think, by doing this step.
There is a classical koan which is the sound of one hand clapping.
Oh, yeah. I see. Yeah, it is made up to be logical, so people struggle, their mind churned. Yeah.
I think to take the mind beyond logical thinking.
Yeah.
Guru is important in Tantra. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The role of Guru is important in Tantra. During Diksha, Guru holds the hand of the disciple called Abhisheka. And when Dakshina is mentally offered, disciple holds Guru's hand. Guru resides in the Guru Chakra, that is just below the Sahasrara Chakra. The bond is for life or more. The ultimate goal of Tantra sadhana is liberation or moksha. If a disciple exits or deviates from the spiritual path or loosens his grip, Guru does not let go his hand. But if the disciple says, "You are not my Guru anymore, I do not believe in you," then Guru is forced to let go his hand and his responsibility. Here Baba was showing that you are holding Baba's wrist like this, and he's holding your hand. It becomes like a lock. And so even if a disciple lets go, Baba won't let go. That's what he was saying. And Abhisheka and Baba asked Abhisheka to Tapeshwarananda. This was the conversation Baba was having with Tapeshwarananda, the late Dada. Yes. And that was very long. Actually, this was triggered by, the global confusion and sadness when Baba's, wife Ma left Baba, and Vishokananda, PA, and many Dadas left. And that was, everybody was shocked. And even Tapeshwarananji had so much shock, he could not even face Baba face to face, And that's when Baba opened up. So it is good to read his biography, Tapeshwananji's. It's very interesting. This is okay. So when in the beginning Baba asked Tapeshwananji, you give diksha to people, what is meant by Abhisheka? Tapeshwananji said, I don't know, Baba. I never heard of that before. And Baba gave the example of after the Mahabharata war, there was, Yudhishthira was initiated or given diksha by Sri Krishna near the Red Fort. And Baba said, if you dig deep near the Red Fort, you will find Bhairava Chakra, which is the two triangles star. A stone Bhairavi Chakra is there. And Yudhishthira was sitting face Sri Krishna. And Sri Krishna took an oath. It is basically Abhisheka is taking oath that Krishna asked Yudhishthira, you should treat your citizens with the just kindness, equality, all those good, moral, ethical standards. And he okayed it, so he took the oath. So that is called Abhisheka. And Baba also takes oath from the Margiis, and both Dadas and Didis do it. Other word was dakshina. Dakshina does not mean, these days, dakshina means you give priest some, tips, money. But or even Baba does not want fruits and flowers brought to him, because he said many of his disciples are poor. They cannot even afford, fruits or anything. So he banned any gifts, with the exception of one or two. He would not take any gift. So the dakshina here means mentally it is offered that disciple holds Guru's hand and mentally surrenders to Guru. That is dakshina, not material gift. Okay, and let me read a little more. The roles of Baba are many as per context and his sankalpa. Mahasadvipra, Dharma Guru, Yogeshwara, Mahakaula, Kalyana Sundaram, Taraka Brahma, flooding the world with devotion, released his Samvit or Haldini Shakti in Krishnanagar. It's in brackets. These are some of the titles, Mahasambhuti. Kalyana Sundaram is the Panchasattva, Shiva's 5 faces, and 2 on the left and 2 on the right, and in the middle is the Kalyana Sundaram. So it's very gentle, very benign, not like, Rudra. Okay. Mahakaula means Kaula refers to the Kula Kundalini Shakti. And it is a positive, moves up to the Sahasrara chakra from the base. Because like Dallas Margiis asked me, can I worship Shiva, Devis, and Baba also? So the many Margis have multiple Iistas. So Baba says Iista is a single entity, resides in Guru Chakra, 8th chakra. There is no place for another or second entity there. Iista is one. So also Supreme Desideratum is one. If one meditates on multiple entities and tries to place them in Guru Chakra or Sahasrara Chakra at different times, the focus, the concentration may be diluted or compromised. There may be confusion and little progress. Meditation is a practical science. To make progress or achieve the goal, one has to strictly follow Guru's instruction and surrender. So, one can worship idols and all that at the lower, in the beginning, but once one is making progress, I think you have to. Baba, in his final years, he said every DMC he gave in North India, he mentioned the story of Narada, always says Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. And like Hanuman also, where is your Hanuman? And he opens his chest and shows he's in my heart. That is like mythology story. But basically, you have to stick with one, not dilute it with so many entities. Because this is what happens with some of the Avidya tantriks and others. There are many Devi places in India also. And they give some benefits, which is true of, but they don't promise liberation or freedom.
Can you say anything more about the actual stages of, not stages, tests, the 7 tests? What is the nature of these tests?
The test becomes harder as you proceed. But the important thing is to not give up, surrender to Baba. That is what he's saying. Because the most difficult test is the spiritual, the 7th test. And it was also told by other saints, the tests of Guru. The spiritual test is the most difficult. And so Tapeshwarananji rebuttal to Baba was, if the test is so hard, difficult, how can we all succeed? And, then Baba said, it may sound hard, but I always help. The key is you have to surrender to the Supreme Consciousness, and He will give you a pass with humility and surrender. That's what he's saying. I have heard from GS and PA that Baba meets with aliens from other planets. And disciples of... Baba was sitting on the tiger's grave in a lonely field on the outskirts of Jamalpur. This local landmark was his preferred meeting place and destination of his regular evening walks. Two newly ordained monks, Abhedananda and Vijayananda were with him. Abhedananda was the first PA, I think, or GS, I don't know. The atmosphere was calm and serene and suffused with feeling feeling of blissful tranquility. Baba was gazing pensively at the sky for some time. Then, breaking the silence, he remarked, "You know, everything has a cause. Nothing that happens in this universe is accidental. My coming to this planet also has a cause. And the fact that you came with me also has a cause. My decision to come to this planet was not taken here. It was made in a far off world. I have told you many times that life is not confined to the earth alone, and that the development of life is a common occurrence in the universe. There are so many planets with life far more advanced than the human beings on this planet. It was one such planet that I took the decision to go to small planet known as Earth and to do something tangible for all-round upliftment of humans and other beings on the planet. So my coming here is not accidental. The fact that all of you came with me is also not without a reason. It may either be the result of an intense desire that you had while we were together on another planet, or in an earlier life on this planet. You do not remember the past, but I know everything. Sitting here, I can see everything, including the planet in the sky where I took the fateful decision. One day, all of you will attain mukti or moksha or salvation. It may be in this life or the next or in any later life, depending on your wish. But for me, there is no mukti or moksha. I cannot wish for that. I keep traveling in various forms from planet to planet, from star to star, and from galaxy to galaxy, to every nook and corner of the universe, to every place where human beings exist, to guide them along the path to liberation and salvation. For me, there is no rest. I would rather say that the word rest does not exist in my dictionary. There are many stories about aliens, Baba's. One time, GS told me he was staying with us a couple of days, nights, and when he was ex-GS. He 2 or 3 in the morning he saw something going on in Baba's room. So he opened slightly the door, peeked through it, and he saw about 40 or so beings. They are not quite, they were more like humanoid and not same type of humanoid, different types of people. And he got scared and he closed the door and went back to his sleep. And next morning, Baba told him, there was no need for you to get scared. Those people are very good people. They are not dangerous or anything. And then I asked him, how many times you have seen these things? He said maybe 11 or 12 times. So this was ongoing. And I asked Keshavananji also, and he also said he had seen this happen. And there are people who visit Baba also time to time. They are not Margiis. They come in suit and, then they go away and disappear. When I was in Ranchi, my friend Vijay Kumar, when we were waiting for Baba, there was a man, the old man came, and he looked like a beggar with the old torn clothes and hair all not cool, very untidy looking. And then when Baba came, he went forward and tried to touch Baba's feet. And Baba said, no, you don't have to touch my feet. You are already realized, you have moksha. And then he said, but you are my guru, so I want to touch your feet. So he touched his Baba's feet. And Vijay was watching this, and he took a bike, and it's immediately after he went somewhere, he disappeared. And he rode all over Ranchi, that area, and he could not find this man, old person. So there are many such stories.